All right, so I came across this product in this technique. This is a polyurethane, water-based, and I'm using a satin. So basically, the foam models can kind of take on like a chalky or a cloudy appearance. Um, you can apply a little bit of this product and give the model a shinier, almost like a coated appearance. Just enhance the looks a little bit. So what I've done is I have coated I've airbrushed the control surfaces and the wing tips on this aircraft, and I am coating the surfaces on the right side. Now these are the airbrush surfaces. Even though they're airbrushed and they've taken on this color, and I do think that this looks better than this. The airbrushed surfaces definitely look better than this, but I think that with a little satin poly that this is going to look even better, because this is kind of like a cooler, and then this is like the next level up. It looks like a nice color that's on here, and with a little bit of satin, I think it's going to look even better. But anyways, I'm using a 1.5 inch brush. I found with a smaller brush, you just get a lot of streak marks, and I just didn't like how long it was taking. I like the 1.5 inch brush. I really feel like it's the perfect compromise between size and effectiveness in covering the surfaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to coat this half of the rudder just to kind of show you how I'm doing this. Now, there is also a spray product that's available. I have steered away from the spray just because I feel like it would be more work to tape things off. And I don't want the spray getting on the wheel or the arm, or then I'm going to be taping all these things off and everything else. The brushed results are fine. Now, if I was really fanatical, these colors here are a little bit lighter. This probably could have used another coat of airbrushing, but it's good enough. This is kind of like an experimental. This was the first plane that I airbrushed. And I would definitely call this experimental. So I'm going to let these dry. When this goes on, it's this kind of light milky color. And if you apply it to a darker surface, it looks like that. When it dries, it's crystal clear. So again, this is the product that I'm using. It's a Varathane. I got this right at like Home Depot. Ultimate polyurethane, water-based, and this is satin. I did use a gloss, and I didn't like the gloss. I feel like the gloss was obnoxious, and it really made its presence, it made the plane look shiny, and I was afraid that when you got it in the sky, it was going to look reflective. So I went with this gloss. I went with this satin. I think it's a compromise between gloss and matte, and I think it'll just enhance the color and enhance the model, but not make it obnoxious. And again, 1.5 inch brush. I have smaller brushes. I just felt like there was too much brushing going on. Larger brushes I couldn't get where I needed to get. So 1.5 inch brush, satin poly. It's applied to half of the surfaces. After it dries, we'll come back and we'll compare the polyed surfaces to the unpolyed surfaces. All right, so I'm back here. The poly is all dry, and I'm happy with the results. If we take these two pieces and hold them up here, the piece on the right has been polyed. You can see the shine that it has. To me, it's perfect. It's not obnoxious, but it's not, that dull looking thing. The other thing that I like about it, my hands aren't dirty at the moment, but this doesn't look like it's really going to take on fingerprints. And if it did get dirty, you could wipe this off. You can definitely tell this has been coated. Whereas this has still got that kind of matte feeling to it. And I could imagine that getting dirty. You know what I mean? And then you wouldn't really want to wipe that matte raw paint. Whereas this isn't really going to get dirty in the first place, and if it does, you could just wipe it off. So polyurethane, water-based. I like the satin a lot. I did the Habu. I want to say I did this like 2 nights ago, and I'm super happy with it. Again, so like this front area here, you can see it's just got a subtle shine to it, and it just feels smoother, clearer. Did the nose. Now, this nose I actually just did with paint marker. And you could wipe it right off on your fingers before, whereas now it's not coming off at all because it's got this light coat of water-based polyurethane on it. You can see it has dried crystal clear. Probably see it a little bit better on the darker colors I did on the bottom. So this green was a failure attempt. I tried to actually use marker and then put coating over it. You can see that did not come out well. And this is also the this is the shiny stuff, and I don't like it. I think it's obnoxious. So this is the satin right here. Unfortunately, I wiped a little off setting it on the stand. I wasn't careful there, but came out really good. Now that it's dry, you can see it doesn't wipe off, doesn't come off on my fingers. This polyurethane really kind of locks the color in. It also, I'll tell you what it does, is the stickers, like, you don't really feel the edge of the stickers like you used to. I think peeling the sticker up would require you to pick under with an X-Acto knife or something. Here's the plastic wheel door here that I airbrushed and then put this thin coat of the satin poly on, and you can see it's beautiful. None of the color is wiping off. It's sealed. You could wipe it off if you wanted to, if something did get on it. So I think it's a great technique. For this particular type of thing and for what I'm doing here, I prefer to brush. I think the 1.5 inch brush is a good compromise for coverage versus getting into tight areas. To me, this brush is good enough to get into these smaller areas like this, but it's wide enough to smooth out these areas. The smaller brush I have, I don't know, I just feel like you get brush marks. It doesn't. So 1.5 inch tapered brush I think is perfect for this, and polyurethane water-based satin color I think is the perfect product for it. I'm gonna go ahead and poly the rest of these surfaces for sure, but again, just real quick there, as you can see, the polyed surface on the right versus the non-polyed on the left, and the difference between the two. I think it really makes the model a lot better. I mean, you can take a regular foam wing like this, add some beautiful airbrush colors to it, poly over them, and it really looks, it looks like a coated surface is what it looks like. It doesn't look styrofoam at all anymore. So I can't wait to do a little more of this. This plane is done in its entirety, and I have another plane or two in mind that I'm gonna hit and do some more of this coloring